To the people of Texas and all Americans in the world. Who can tell me where those words come from?
William Barrett Travis.
Exactly. Colonel William Barrett Travis, victory or death letter from the Alamo. Now, who can tell me what date he wrote that letter?
Tomorrow.
Class, anyone?
Yeah, tomorrow.
February 25th. 24th.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. It's very fitting that we would remember his words today as we fight a battle which just seems to continue. We remember the words that he wrote because they're not just words. They're powerful words born of mighty deeds, deeds that changed the course of history. But what would America have been without Texas? Yeah, I know. Some people say I'd like to find out. We'll get to that. No. Remember those words because what happened then is what's happening now. The time for words, just words, is over. It is time, it is past time to start acting to defend our liberty as we know, as those men at the Alamo had to do. Ronald Reagan said in his 1964 speech, A Time for Choosing, there is a price we will not pay. There's a cost too dear. There is a place where they may not advance and from which we will not retreat. The men at the Alamo found their line in the sand, and now we have to find ours. Where is the place from which we will not retreat? We've got problems. That's why we're here. I'm not going to talk about the nature of the problem because I think other speakers have done that. And you know pretty much. But just let me just tell you what I think. You got to diagnose the problem before you can have a proper and successful plan of treatment. Here's the problem. Washington is broken. The two-party system is corrupt and broken too. Not that everybody in it is corrupt, but it is a corrupting influence. Washington will never fix itself. You can't reform the two-party system from within. We have to find new methods, new tools, new ideas to fight this fight. We are up to the challenge. We are up to that task, but that's why we all look around when we come to this place, we say, how did we get here? How did it happen in our lifetime that we came this close to losing our Constitution, our liberty, and our freedom, our country? How did it happen? Well, it happened because basically we let it. We knew that the federal tyranny would push back on the states, and we let them. We let them destroy our 10th Amendment sovereignty. And that's how it happened. These barrage of unconstitutional federal acts, we didn't stand up and stop it. But that's what we've got to do, and that's how we can do it. We've got to have a plan, though. A plan for Texas independence. And I'm not talking about secession. We'll get to that. But to be a free and independent state under the 10th Amendment as our founding fathers and our Constitution acknowledged we were and should be. I'd like to tell you my personal why I'm doing this. Maybe it's something like yours. I knew, as we all did, that study history and the Constitution, that we were on a bad course. And someday there'd be a day of reckoning. It would all crash. Intellectually, I knew that. But I thought, that's someday way, way away, after I'm dead and gone. And then in about 2010, it hit me. I saw what was happening. I said, if we don't stop this, I'm liable to outlive my country. And that hit me in the gut. I said, this can't happen. This cannot happen. No, and I'm not going down without a fight. If they want my liberty, they want it so bad, they're going to have to come and take it. And so I ran for governor. You didn't get that transition. I'll make it a little clearer. But the plan is that we've got to start acting like the free and sovereign state that we are under the Constitution, using the tool right there in the owner's manual, nullification. It's something we can do, and it is has the best promise for resisting this federal tyranny in a peaceful way, have a peaceful resolution to this problem. Now, while I was running for governor, some people would say, why don't you run for president? I want to be Texas governor. Why would I accept a demotion? I mean, who in his right mind, if he could be governor of the state of Texas, would be willing to give all that up and go around trying to become president? Oh. Yeah. Never mind. Well, I tell that little joke to make a point, and that is this. We are in a battle for America, and Texas is the battleground. But we're not battle ready because we have no leaders. We need leaders. We need leaders who believe in this, for all the way from governor down to your constitutional county sheriffs. Do we have any county sheriffs here? Any county law enforcement people? Well, thank you. All over, we're seeing a spontaneous demonstration of the powers of nullification, where they say, I will not comply. I will not take away people's guns in my county, and I won't let the Fed come in and do it either. And that's what we've got to have more of. That's the basis of the plan. I said I'd get back to secession. I'm not talking about secession here. I'm talking about a return to constitutional government. I'm talking about a plan where we can all stay Americans, but stay free and stay independent of Washington. We got to push back on Washington. That's what we've got to do. But we can do it as Americans under the Constitution. Now, I tell my secessionist friends, and I've got a lot of them, that if you think we can more easily secede than return to constitutional government, you're dangerously wrong. And shouldn't we at least first try to implement the Constitution as it was intended to be? Just act free and sovereign as we're supposed to be? And if that does it, then we don't have to go through the pain and the heartbreak and the bloodshed that would be involved in an attempt to secede. So, let's talk a little bit about nullification, what that is. Basically, we don't need to overcomplicate this. It's if something is done in your state that violates state law, like groping somebody at the airport, what would happen to them? They get arrested and probably go to jail. Okay, but what if they're employed by the federal government? Same thing. You just treat them like you would any other criminal. You did that, it's unconstitutional, you had no right, it violated Texas law, we're going to arrest you, our good county sheriff's going to arrest you, you're going to stand trial, and you may go to jail. So that's basically it. Just start acting like the sovereign people that you are and recognize unconstitutional federal acts and resist them. That's why I say the fact that our governor would even think about wanting to resign so he could become president shows that he didn't get it. He does not understand the threats we face and the pivotal role that a governor plays in this fight. Because we have to, and if you don't understand the job description, is it any wonder you don't get the job done? So that's why I say we've got to have people, leaders. But remember the people at the Alamo, how many were there?
180.
180. Okay, not that many, but they changed the course of history. So that can give you some confidence that we don't have to change every mind of every Texan to make this work. We have to have a dedicated, persistent few who understands the stakes and is willing to fight the fight. And more will come in. In the revolution, that's what happened, American Revolution. As they saw people actually fighting the fight, they came in. And if Texas does this, we will bulwark for freedom, we push back on Washington, other states will see what we're doing. And they'll follow suit. Of course they will, because we're Texas. They're used to looking to us for inspiration and example. So this thing can build, but we've got to get started with, I used to say what's going to be the flashpoint, the thing that people just get it. And I didn't know what it was going to be. Now I think we know. I think it's going to be an attempt to take away our gun rights. I think that's going to be the thing that just awakens people who've been sleeping or told themselves that it wasn't that bad yet. This is a clarifying moment. And we all hope for a peaceful resolution of this. Nobody wants any bloodshed to come of this. And if the peace is broken, it won't be our side who did it first. Not at all. It'll be the federal tyrants who are trying to provoke a confrontation. I mean, I hear that the federal government has 2 billion rounds of ammunition stockpiled, I don't know where. I hope it's in Texas. 2 billion rounds, that's 5 bullets. 5 bullets for every man, woman, and child in America. Well, that tells me something, and it's not good, and it's that somebody is planning on a resolution that is not peaceful and bloodless. Ronald Reagan said, there is a point in space and time, and beyond space and time, where whether we like it or not, spells duty. Duty, that's a new 4-letter word. Nobody talks about duty anymore, except maybe people in our generation who still remember it and honor that concept. Well, I don't much like it, what I see my duty is, but I'm going to do it. And I want other people to say, I recognize my duty is to save America by saving Texas, by pushing back on unconstitutional federal acts. So I'll leave you with these words, also from Colonel Travis' letter from the Alamo. And I hope you'll go home tomorrow and read it, just because it speaks so much to what we're doing now, what we're up against now. He said, no retreat, no surrender. Those are good words, feels good to say. Will you say it with me?
No retreat, no surrender.
No retreat, no surrender. No retreat, no surrender. Thank you very much.